my biggest fear as well is the fact that the last time this happened was with Rhea Ripley, and they had her relinquish that main title. So are they going to have the same thing happen to those tag?
I'm starting to wonder if they're going to make Liv and Raquel drop them. And I know what they'll do. Storyline, they're going to fucking have Liv. Finn's going to suggest that Liv give her title to Roxanne.
I see it.
And have Roxanne and Raquel defend them on her behalf.
And then we're going to have another Naomi situation?
Except
that's for business.
I mean, it makes the most sense. You can keep the tag titles in the Judgment Day without it messing up the story too much, but then you've got to build up the dissension between Roxanne and Raquel, or Raquel starts to like Roxanne, and Liv gets even more jealous of that.
All right, y'all, we're ready.
Ooh, we got some fun ideas here. I can't wait till our Evolution predictions. No one's stealing that shit. That's mine.
Mute, right. Boys.
Everyone mute, please. Whew. Oh, man. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Snug Wrestling. Man, I feel jittery, dude. I feel all hyped up for many reasons. We're about to do the Snug Wrestling Smackdown review. We got a special guest in the house tonight. Joining us is Ryan Gray from the No So podcast. So everyone, please welcome Ryan. Ryan, thank you for joining us today. How you doing?
Thanks, Snug. Thanks, Blood. Tommy, Toxic, thanks for having me, guys. I'm looking forward to review Friday Night SmackDown with you guys.
What about you guys? How's the Snug crew doing? Blood, Tommy, Toxic, how you feeling tonight, fellas?
Biggie.
Doing fantastic. Your boy's appeal got approved. He's back in the Creative Rewards program on TikTok, getting paid for his content again. Justice without.
Yeah, now the only thing I have to do is get our TikTok live back so we can be on TikTok live. But yeah, that's great news, man.
It feels good, man.
Yeah, you know what else felt good was this episode of SmackDown. Ryan picked a great night to join us today because
I did.
We are going to start from the very ending of SmackDown, the John Cena promo, because we have to. We have to talk about this first before we get into anything else. John Cena cooked CM Punk tonight, y'all. He did. Remember last week, we talked about the CM Punk promo, how CM Punk, pretty much botched it. He, I don't know, forgot his lines or something, but Cena had his turn tonight after SmackDown, after the main event, which we'll get into. And John Cena pretty much cut his own pipe bomb promo on CM Punk. John Cena used a lot of material from the original pipe bomb that CM Punk, dropped many, many years ago. What was it, 2013 or 2014?
11.
Yeah. 2011.
Thank you. And there was a lot of details in this promo by John Cena tonight that went back to that. Everything from the table, the position that CM Punk was in after he got put through the table was the same position that John Cena was in during that pipe bomb promo. And it was John Cena went off the rails in this promo. He broke the fourth wall as he said it. He mentioned people that no longer work in the company, like Claudio Castagnoli, Nick Nemeth, and who was the third one? Someone remind me. It just went.
Matt
Cardona. The crazy thing about it, John Cena didn't use their WWE names. So, man, John Cena, this promo was so great that the fans ended up chanting "Thank you, Cena" at the end of this promo. And now the momentum has shifted. John Cena got the crowd behind him leading up to the match versus CM Punk at Night of Champions. Ryan, do the honors since you're the special guest. What did you think about this promo by Cena?
All right. Probably the second best promo that he's cut. The whatever one we had in Europe where he had the face-to-face vitriol heel promo with Cody back in March or April, whatever. But yeah, the cadence was exactly like CM Punk 14 years ago, almost to the date coming up. And it was just super fun. It was a lot to memorize and he nailed it, right? But I will say it was two clunky things, right? it was a 6.5-minute promo, and CM Punk laying there with one AA through the ladder was a little wonky, but look past that, right? And then at first you look at the Slim Jim sponsor right in the middle of the table, in the middle of the ring, in the middle of the camera shot. It's like, all right, that's going to take a little while to get used to, but I couldn't get past that. But all that being said, the negativity of it all, you look right past it, because Cena, with his verbal cadence, with his comfortability-ness as a heel now, all that, you guys can jump into what he said cadence-wise. But overall, it was probably the most organic John Cena has come across as a heel, probably since this whole heel run, or since the turn initially, right? So there was no cartoonishness. It was all very, very good stuff. I enjoyed it very immensely.
You know, a lot of people will say that Cena doesn't feel like a heel. He feels like he's playing a character when he is playing heel. And that's because we spent so many years with him as the face of pro wrestling. But here's the thing. You forget just how good Cena actually is when he fucking has someone to verbally spar with. Or in this case, someone who he is close enough with, he is comfortable enough with, and he is cool enough with on a professional and personal level to absolutely unload and rip them to pieces, and it all be okay, because as far as Punk's concerned, it's a great piece of business. And when it comes down to it, using the original pipe bomb as the foundational blueprint for this promo is fucking genius. Aside from the fact that I remember, I've watched that pipe bomb promo so many times, the first thing that always comes to my head is not any of the zingers that CM Punk originally said, but it's how he starts. Cena, I don't hate you. I actually respect you. I even like you. But I hope you can hear every word I'm about to say as you lie there as uncomfortably as you possibly can be. Cena waited 14 years to put Punk back in that same position, roles reversed. This was genius. Name dropping freaking Nick Nemeth, Claudio Castagnoli, and Matt Cardona. So Zack Ryder, Cesaro, and formerly Dolph Ziggler, respectively, at a time where their careers were all kind of surrounding John Cena's stories between him, Punk, the rise of the Authority, and the rise above hate stuff when Mass Kane returned. This is so many callbacks. And I feel bad for a lot of new wrestlers who are like not realizing just how epic this is. Because if you weren't a wrestling fan or you didn't know about the original pipe bomb fucking 14 years ago, if you didn't watch it live like I did, like Snug did, like freaking Ryan did, then you truly, I don't feel like you grasped just how epic this truly is. That pipe bomb promo changed the face of pro wrestling, period. It changed the organic nature of how WWE went forward and how they worked, because they had to. This top fucking marks best promo Cena has cut since his first feud with The Rock, period.
Yeah, I enjoyed this a lot, since it's almost identical to the original pipe bomb that Punk cut, but the only differences that I saw was obviously Cena wasn't sitting in front of the entrance on the stage. He was sitting on the turnbuckle, which I thought it was okay, yeah, he's gonna change it up a little bit. But name dropping Dolph Ziggler, Cesaro, and Zack Ryder, I did not expect that. I don't correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think Punk name dropped people that wasn't even in the company still.
Oh, he did. He did.
Oh.
In the first pipe bomb, he name dropped famously Colt Cabana, who he wound up having a lawsuit against later.
Okay.
He waved at him.
Sorry. I was just shocked by the whole thing. Calling out USA, the thing that shows SmackDown on actual TV, calling out USA, checking his mic to make sure that they didn't cut his mic like they did Punk. No, I don't think they did cut Punk's. Well, they did at the end, but this promo was insane. It's got to be the best one as a heel that he's had.
I said this before we started recording, and I'm going to say it again. CM Punk has the pipe bomb. John Cena now has the fucking nuke.
TikTok
Holy
language.
shit. They don't really censor that talk. Shut up. But still, holy crap. Cena once again did not hold back. The video package compared them to the Chinese stuff with yin and yang. This could not be further from the truth on that. Not further. My brain sucks. But still, that could not be more true. Because it's fully fact at this point. These two are direct opposites of how they were in 2011 and before even that. Holy crap. Good old Cena. We already knew how good he was on the mic. But for this, he took the pipe bomb and expanded it so much into his own way. And I love how it ended. Right before it went off air, he grabbed the mic, got close into Punk, and said, "Thanks for letting me rip off your pipe bomb," and just threw the mic at him. That was insane. Like, it was phenomenal. I absolutely love this promo.
So we're on our way to Night of Champions next weekend, and I'm even more excited for this match than what I originally was after seeing this fucking promo that we saw, man. Yeah, it was perfect, man. Even because they played this video package earlier on SmackDown that explained the history and, you know, them having their last match back in 2013, a lot of new fans or a lot of younger fans are going to go back and watch that promo, and they're going to be like, "Oh, okay." So that's, you know, that's what makes, you know, shit like this so great. But this all happened because CM Punk came out and helped out R-Truth in the main event. So we'll get into the main event next. Might as well, since we're already on this topic. R-Truth versus John Cena. Throughout the show, R-Truth, we were seeing him attacking people. He attacked Kit Wilson is his name? Kit Wilson, one half of the Pretty Deadly before his match versus Aleister Black. We saw R-Truth attack John Cena 2 times last week. He attacked John Cena at Money in the Bank. So this is a completely different R-Truth. This is a crazy R-Truth. He's unhinged. He's wild. And this match in the main event versus John Cena felt completely different also. Compared to their last match at Saturday night's main event, R-Truth was all over Cena tonight. And on top of that, R-Truth technically beat John Cena tonight. Yes, it was by DQ. Yes, John Cena disqualified himself by hitting R-Truth over the head with the belt. But still, R-Truth got another win over Cena technically, and that's what the record book is going to say. Again, another great match, another great main event that led to the John Cena pipe bomb. Ryan, your thoughts?
See, I kind of feel bad that Truth is like a second thought coming out of this, because I've really enjoyed this Ron Killings run here. The haircutting segment was super memorable. And then his through line throughout the show, attacking the Pretty Deadly guy, which made him come across Aleister Black, which had a backstage segment that brought him with Damian Priest, reintroduced that dynamic again. So he's starting to sink his teeth into this roster. And I don't want to say that the Cena nuke or whatever Tommy wants to call it kind of put water on his return run. But this match kind of was the tippity top of it, and now he's going to kind of find his level wherever it would be. And honestly, Damian Priest is a perfect spot for him to kind of find a level as a friend or find a level as a foe. So overall, the match was much better. I think it was double, maybe even triple the time that they had at Saturday night's main event, but it was only 6 or 7 minutes. But I like the energy that R-Truth brought to that match, opposed to the kind of cartoonish Ron Cena that we got at Saturday night's main event. That worked for what it was, but for R-Truth going forward, Ron Killings, that character, this was a nice transition energy-wise from an in-ring aspect, because at the end of the day, he is kind of a goofball, and he really was a goofball in ring. Now, if he's going to be serious, he needs to come across serious in ring, and they did that job tonight.
I definitely think that as far as it's concerned, they're making all the right moves with Ron Killings at this point in time. All of these, because here's the thing, you could honestly say Truth isn't even a baby face right now. He might be a tweener, because what kind of baby face goes and runs roughshod over backstage and in ring all freaking night, right? He jumped Kit Wilson from behind and then not once, but twice locked in the STF and forced him to tap out and refused to get off him, even though refs and security were trying to make him. Like, this is not, in my opinion, a pure babyface Ron Killings / R-Truth. This is a tweener Truth. And I think it's a great way to really push that narrative that, hey, R-Truth is fun. We all like R-Truth. We all enjoy R-Truth. But R-Truth, he can be a little silly sometimes. He can be hard to take serious sometimes. That's what Killings said in his promo when he came back right after Money in the Bank. And this is awesome because, as far as I'm concerned, we're getting the perfect run, and he can pull it off. A lot of people forget his TNA run. A lot of people forget how serious he was in that run. I saw a promo the other day from way back in 2002 that he cut against Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and it was fantastic. This was awesome. The match, much better than the one they had at Saturday night's main event. And I don't care that it was a DQ. Like Snug said, the record books are going to show that this counts as a win. And I'd like to point out, because I pointed this out before, Truth, before Saturday night main event, had 2 career wins over John Cena. John Cena only had 1 win over Truth. After Saturday night's main event, they're tied 2-2. But after tonight, Truth is 3 to Cena's 2. So technically, R-Truth is better than Cena. And I think if they bring that up, it would be awesome. Where Truth can go, you only beat me twice, Cena. I got you 3 times. That's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. This was freaking awesome. I think they're doing this fantastically. And let it keep building. DQ is perfect. That means we can get more of this. I want to keep seeing R-Truth go until he just absolutely explodes. I really do. Top form. Great show tonight. The shit just keeps getting better.
Oh, God. First off, I just got to say, rest in peace to Kit Wilson. He had Hikaleo last week in a dark match. Now he just passed out to Truth tonight. We need a pretty deadly push. I'm kidding. I kind of don't want to see that. Yeah, I'm starting to think Triple H sees where he went wrong with Truth in the first place, and that he needs a serious push. I mean, yes, the goofy R-Truth is still in there a little bit, and we saw that with the backstage segment with Aleister Black, and as Aleister walked away, he's like, Ron Black. The goofy Truth is still in there, but we also have the more serious, I'm not gonna stop beating people's ass until I get my hands on John Cena. We have that Truth, but we also have the old Truth. So I'm glad that they're doing this with Truth, and it's better than what they were doing with Truth.
I love the backstage segment because it did bring back together Damian Priest and R-Truth. Priest also brought up, he just is like, hey, you can't be randomly attacking people. I used to do that. But you were there to make me laugh every step of the way. So put that anger, put that into tonight, and we'll be celebrating right after. We'll go downtown and we'll celebrate together. Like, I love the fact that, like Toxic said, that fun side of R-Truth is still there. It's still there when he wants it to come out. But he wants to show that he is in the driver's seat. I'm the one driving. As he likes to say, I'm the one driving. Which, honestly, I love this more serious side of him. It has been a hot minute since the last time we saw him this serious. And honestly, I'm up for it. When it comes to the match itself, I love the fact that Cena grabbed the title and tried to walk away. Ron's response, hell no. That ain't how that's going to end. Nope, I'm coming down there myself. That's exactly what he did. He came down there. He tried to do it, but we all knew that with Cena title in hand, we knew what was going to happen, unfortunately. It was a DQ, but it was a dub. It absolutely was a W right there. It was a win. And that is all that truly matters here. He did, once again, beat John Cena.
Yeah, R-Truth. There's still some of that classic R-Truth that that we all know and love. That little face to face he had with Damian Priest was kind of like a full circle moment, and he was down. Like, Damian Priest was like, after your match, we'll go out and celebrate, just like old times. And he cracked a smile, but as soon as Damian Priest walked away, he kind of had like this weird look in his eye, like, yo, like, I'm still crazy type thing. But then he comes out for his match. He still has the same song. He's still saying, what's up? So yeah, R-Truth is still here with us with the little mix of craziness. So that's cool. Well, now that we got the main event out of the way, we got the John Cena pipe bomb out of the way, it's time to get back in order because we're all over the place. So we're going to go back to the beginning. We're going to talk about this feud that's been building up with LA Knight and Seth Rollins. This is what kicked off SmackDown, and it was a big part of the show tonight. Paul Heyman tried to warn LA Knight, if you don't leave right now, something bad is going to happen. LA Knight didn't listen. He ended up getting a match versus Bronson Reed, which worked in total favor for Paul Heyman. This was all part of Paul Heyman's plan tonight, and they ended up having a match, LA Knight versus Bronson Reed, that ended in another DQ, kind of like the main event. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed attacked LA Knight, and Paul Heyman never lies. He wasn't a prediction. It was a spoiler. Something bad did happen to LA Knight. LA Knight ended up eating multiple spears and multiple tsunami splashes by Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. And this thing is just going to have to end up with LA Knight versus Seth Rollins somewhere down the line. Ryan, what was your major takeaway from this involving LA Knight tonight?
Well, as a pretty big LA Knight fan myself, I was yearning for him to win Money in the Bank, and he did not. So I was a little nervous with him kind of coming out of that. And then I saw King of the Ring presented to him, and he took the pin. All that kind of conveying into a Seth Rollins feud and Paul Heyman feud and whatever they're calling the group kind of feud is on the horizon for him. And I think that's pretty good footing for him. But my biggest takeaway from their interaction was, I think it's the first time they ever had a solo interaction, unless if it was maybe for like Roman back in like 2023 or whatever that was at that November Saudi show. But I felt that they were excited to kind of have a verbal back and forth for however many minutes it was. It was quick, to the point, and it really put over that LA Knight is going to kind of be the first obstacle for this group to take down in the here and the now, and kind of give the LA Knight fans hope that, he's not dead in the waters. It's just not his time now. But my favorite personal takeaway was when Paul Heyman was super overexcited to say, yeah. I thought that was great.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed the hell out of this segment. One, because I'm a Paul Heyman guy. And two, because I really, really am hoping, and I said this before, but I do truly believe that I think the reason we're not getting all the LA Knight, push that we've been clamoring for and hoping for is I do believe that they are setting LA Knight up down the road at the end of this year. I think he's the one that retires Cena. I think he gets his first world title by pinning John Cena. I don't think it's Cody. I think it's LA Knight. That being said, this is great. Two of the best talkers currently in the business, Paul Heyman, an all-timer on the microphone. You can argue with the wall on that one. And LA Knight, in my opinion, one of the greatest talkers in the modern era. Again, speak to the wall behind you. As far as it's concerned, this was fun. I love that touch of LA Knight kind of lightly threatening Paul. He's like, well, they're not here. But tell you what, since you want to come down here, you want to get in my face, you want to act like a tough guy. Okay. How about this? How about me and you, Paul, right here, right now in Grand Rapids? And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, why are you even giving him a chance? Just hit him with a BFT and freaking smack the dust off your hands. You're giving him way too much leeway here. Don't you know who this man is after 40 plus years in the business? Like, when he goes, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to give you the first shot. I'm like, that man is going to run for the hills if you turn around. Why are you waiting? But again, it was great. It was a constant feeling of who's going to get the upper hand in the promo. And I love promo exchanges like this where either man can beat the other guy on the mic on his best day. Now, not a lot of people can keep up with someone like Paul Heyman, at least energy-wise, while cutting the promo. But LA Knight, he's like, dude, we've been going back and forth on this. Your guys screwed me, so I screwed them, then they screwed me back over, and we keep going round and round. Just give me Seth. So, yeah, I think this is going to end up in a Seth Rollins LA Knight feud, which is what the reports were last week, that apparently they're going to have a mini feud leading into Night of Champions. Now, whether or not that goes further to SummerSlam remains to be seen. Neither Seth nor LA Knight are involved in the finals for King of the Ring, so they could stretch this out to SummerSlam if they wanted. But remember, SummerSlam is going to be quite an evening, and Seth still has that briefcase, and I don't see him cashing in at Night of Champions. So whatever he wraps up with LA, I feel like it's in the next month and a half, and then we're going to have a cash-in. But this was awesome.
Okay, the promo was amazing, but I didn't like the match for one reason. It shouldn't have been Bronson Reed. It should have been Paul Heyman. We should have actually seen Paul Heyman versus LA Knight. I wanted to see it so bad. I'm like, please, Triple H, give us just one laugh after all the shit that you put us through. Just please. But sadly, no. LA Knight got his ribs destroyed. So rest in peace, LA Knight's ribs. But in all seriousness, both the match and promo were amazing. I had no complaints about either. Everything Blood said that is correct. Everything Ryan said is correct. I agree with everything that has been said, and I thought it was amazing.
The multiple tsunamis. Wasn't the last person to take that Seth, if I'm correct? And it was it Jay?
No, he
Okay.
gave Seth.
Yeah,
he gave Seth 6 of them.
Yeah. That's the point here. The last person that he gave that many tsunamis to, it was Seth. And it did not go well for Bronson Reed afterwards. So we will see how this goes. I would not be surprised if they did take that mini feud and kind of stretch it out a little bit more. that seems to be almost their MO, except for everything with Cena, because everything with Cena has been like super short as of late. So overall, we'll see how this goes. LA Knight seriously needs a push. Please. But I do agree with Blood. I would not be surprised if at SummerSlam it ends up being Cody versus Cena. I have a feeling that Cody's going to lose that. And then LA Knight's going to get his hands on Cena and take that title off of him.
So we got our first finalist for the women's Queen of the Ring. And the semifinals was Alexa Bliss versus Asuka. And I almost forgot that this was a singles action, singles match, because I'm so used to seeing all these multi-person matches for the past fucking forever. So it was nice to see a one-on-one match. But I wasn't sure how this was going to play out. Both Alexa Bliss and Asuka just came back. So I'm like, who is going to go down here? I don't know how this is going to play out. I mean, it kind of just broke down to who deserves it more, right? But there has to be a winner here because it's a Queen of the Ring semifinals. There can't be no fuck finishes. No one can get screwed over. There has to be a loser and a winner here. I thought Alexa Bliss, just for the simple fact that she's been here longer, deserved it more. But turns out Asuka is actually the one that's going to be going to the finals, and she's going to face the winner out of Jade Cargill and Roxanne Perez. Ryan, thoughts on the match, and did you think this was the right person to win it? What did you think about this?
I enjoyed the match. Weird structure, 1 minute, then a 4-minute commercial break, and then you get 4 minutes back. So flow-wise, you had like a 9 to 10 minute match, but most of it was commercials, and the first minute was totally forgotten about. So it was a little unfortunate for them, like momentum-wise, building to the finish. But I thought some of the stuff looked pretty good. Asuka looks pretty crisp for being out for 13 months. And I like how Bliss, on her since her return, her spunky little offense is like impactful. She does a good job of like setting her moves up to kind of maximize her little frame and everything, right? So the match felt like it's 2025, not 2017, like they were both in their prime. I think Asuka's kind of a favorite to win this. I feel that Jade has bad karma and should be on caution, so to speak, right? No pun intended there, to kind of maybe forecast her future. And I don't know, maybe Roxanne pivots. If she was going to win, they pivot away from her. So Asuka, Io kind of is a dream match in a way. They had a match in, I think, 2023. But overall, Asuka returns totally fresh. It's about time to give Io something to do. And that's SummerSlam worthy. So I'm probably looking forward to that more than any potential match with Roxanne and Io or Jade and Tiffany. Because Jade and Tiffany just kind of feels weird and doesn't feel like it makes sense at SummerSlam. So give me Asuka and Io. I feel like that's the best matchup.
Thank you. I have been saying this forever. I'm the only motherfucker on this panel who does not buy Tiffany Stratton as the goddamn champion. And I've already said I don't want to see her and Jade, period. I have said it so many times. What's up? Did you have something? I like her. I don't buy her as champ. I think she was pushed way too soon. However, when it comes to Asuka, I said this last week, I will forever be impressed and always blown away by the fact this is a woman in her mid 40s wrestling circles around 29-year-olds. And 33-year-olds. It is incredible what a performer Asuka has always been. And I said it last week. I also said, I was like, I don't see Alexa getting through Asuka. I love Alexa, but this is Asuka. You know what I'm saying? Asuka looked great tonight. Alexa looked great tonight. I thought this was awesome. And Asuka's the right choice. We need to keep her strong. Before she left, and even the last couple years Vince had her, they were not booking this woman right at all. They couldn't decide if she was a face or a heel, if she'd betray or if she would side with. Like, I mean, good God, how many breakups of Damage Control, how many returns for her? Like, it was like, dude, give her something concrete to work with. She is literally one of the most professional, most tenured, most world-renowned international stars on your roster. Treat this woman with the push she deserves. And this was the right call. I thought it was a great freaking match. The only thing I didn't like was the finish, the twisted bliss into the knees. And then I don't know what they're calling Asuka's move. I think they called it the Empress Impact. So I'm guessing they renamed it, but it's basically a running hip attack. And fucking Alexa botched the hell out of it because you could drive a truck through the gap that Asuka didn't hit her. She just leans back and shoves Asuka, then sold it like she got hit by a cannonball. Other than that, I am with you. You are so right, Ryan. Give us Asuka versus Io. I can't believe we haven't had that on WWE TV main roster. Like, I think it's like, yeah, you're right. It was like, what, the Tokyo Dome was the last time they did that shit? This would literally be, like chef's kiss. Give me all the strong style, please. I'm so for this match.
Yeah, this match was amazing. Both Alexa and Asuka looked amazing. Not even good. Amazing. They looked amazing in this match to me, except for the botch of the Empress Impact. I think that's what they're calling it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't think Alexa was the right pick. Yes, she's been back longer, but Asuka just returned this Monday, so it made the most sense. But Tommy, I'm saying Roxanne has some shit up her sleeve. She is going to win against Jade. Simply the fact my brain sucks. Due to Naomi. Blood, I swear if you pull that dictionary out, motherfucker. Anyways, Asuka was the right pick. And yeah, I agree. Asuka and Io is the match. I want to see Asuka and Io. They're in Damage Control. I don't know if they're actually keeping Asuka in Damage Control. I don't know that they haven't had a. No, okay.
It was officially disbanded. The report came out earlier this week. It was quietly disbanded.
Damage Control was disbanded in a hole. Okay, that's news to me.
It was completely disbanded. They came out with a report. It was quietly disbanded when Asuka returned.
Well, god dang! Now I gotta update my universe mode in 2K25. Dang. Okay. I want to see Asuka and Io so bad. I don't want to see Jade and Tiffany. Just give it to us, please.
Initially, I was like, why? They're in the same group together. And then Blood dropped the bomb that they quietly disbanded the group. In which my immediate response was, this is the biggest women's group. Why are you quietly disbanding that shit? Why? You had this entire storyline just to take out Bayley for that match at WrestleMania between the two of them. Why are you quietly disbanding the biggest group in the women's division? It makes no sense. Like, kind of figure out a way that we know for a fact that they're taken apart. No sense to me. Now, the match itself, it has already been said. She did just come back, so we had a feeling this was going to happen. Toxic, here's my problem with your prediction here. Raquel Rodriguez doesn't like her. What does she have up her sleeve if Raquel Rodriguez already hates her still? If you're about to say Julia, my immediate response is she's on the other brand. She can't do shit.
I said Naomi.
Okay. fuck Naomi. The issue with that is her mind will still be on. What the fuck is that? Okay, so my only issue with that is the fact that the only thing that they both agree on is the fact that they hate Jade. That's literally it. Why in the world would Naomi get involved in this? When she already has eyes on both of the world titles and she has to focus on how the hell she's going to cash in. There's that. The match itself. Like I said, we already knew that Asuka was going to win. She just came back. There was no possible way she wasn't winning this. And I do agree, now that I know that Damage Control has quietly been disbanded, that Asuka is the favorite to win this entire tournament. And I completely agree wholeheartedly at this point.
All right, y'all. So since we had to talk about the Queen of the Ring, it's only right that we talk about the men's side of things, the King of the Ring. We also had a semifinal match on this episode of SmackDown, but we also saw all four of the semifinals competitors. First, we saw Cody and Jay in the ring face to face, and they were having quite the moment to kind of build up their match, their semifinal King of the Ring match that's going to happen next week on Raw. But then it was interrupted by Sami Zayn. Kind of a heelish move, I thought, because Jay and Cody were having quite the moment, and Sami Zayn didn't let Cody say a goddamn word. I don't think Cody said anything throughout this segment here. Even Wade Barrett was like, Sami, what? Way to ruin the moment, you know? And then Sami came out and he made things about himself. I haven't won a championship yet. You guys all won it. It's my turn. It's my time to shine, you know? And I'm just like, what the I mean, we love Sami, but like, this was not the time for this. At least that's how I felt. But then Randy Orton came out, and I was like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. We got all four guys in the ring at the same time. Randy is my favorite to win this whole thing. So this segment right here led to the match between Randy versus Sami Zayn, which was a great match. Randy Orton went over. And just the way that Randy Orton has been built since he came back, I think the only match Randy has actually lost was versus John Cena at Backlash, and it was like a fluke somehow. I don't really remember, but it wasn't a clean win. So with all that, I'm glad that Randy got the win. So he's going to the finals to face the winner out of Cody and Jay. And I'm calling it now. Randy's going all the way, and I want to see Randy versus Cena at SummerSlam. But Ryan, what was your thoughts about this segment with all four of the competitors and the match itself?
I'm actually surprised Randy won. You know, result wise, I felt that maybe Sami Cody is maybe more here and now, and then that inevitable Orton Cody match, assuming Cody's going to win on Monday night, right? That's all with the assumption of that Cody Orton match is kind of more bigger stage than the King of the Ring finals, but that bigger stage could be presented coming out of whatever happens at that King of the Ring final. Again, with a strong assumption that Cody's going to win. First off, Cody not really saying anything is interesting, right? Because these are as a whole, these are four baby faces, which is interesting booking, right? I like it. I think it's really smart. It's interesting. And it could add character to their characters with the result of losing to fellow baby faces. So that's an interesting layer too as well. First being Cody kind of presents himself kind of above these guys. He's been the world champion on the bigger stage. Yeah, Jay just lost the belt, but Cody's like a veteran world champion. That veteran world champion in the ring, Randy Orton, hasn't been world champion since 2021, right? So Cody kind of is like presented bigger than all four of them. And of course, Sami is always continuously chasing that inevitable championship. So Cody kind of felt the biggest and presented himself as the biggest and didn't really need to say anything. I love how Orton came in as the veteran, cocky, arrogant, and really kind of put his dick on the table and was like, "Motherfuckers, get to my level." And we saw that with the result in a way too. And then Jay was just like, "I'm kind of just happy to be here. I'm still a little down that I lost my belt, but this is my opportunity to get back there. And you got to take one step back to take two forward. But for now and here and then, I'm here just so I kind of don't get fined in a way." It felt like, all right, let me go through my shtick, and it is what is. And then Sammy, kind of back to the character aspect of 4 baby faces and him being the first one to kind of fall out of that babyface role and lose. Again, chasing that world title. Here's an opportunity for him to get it. He came up short. How is he going to react? So I'm more interested than that, than the actual result. And one more thing, I think Cody wins this, but I don't think we get Cody Cena one-on-one at SummerSlam. I think we get like some Night of Champions bullshit and we get a 3-way with Punk. That's just the kind of pie in the sky, a lot of throw at you. But in the here and the now, I enjoyed the 4 baby faces in the ring, and I enjoyed the rapid pace 11-minute match that Sammy and Orton gave us. That was fresh. It looked good, felt good, and I'm yearning for more, hopefully sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I gotta. I feel bad for Cody, bro. I mean, like literally, this was a great segment, but they flew that man out there to be a penguin from Madagascar. Just smile and wave, boys, smile and wave. Like, how long was the trip on that tour bus for that man not to get a word in edgewise? Look, this was really fun. This was great. There's always an awesome energy, right? When you have the biggest baby faces in the company sharing a ring together. All of these guys at one point on the same War Games team, all of these guys at one point fighting against Roman at some point, either together or separate. Like every time these guys are in the ring, it's when they have each other's backs. You know what I'm saying? So to see them at a crossroads, no pun intended, where they are in adverse to each other, I think is really great because it almost feels like the fans are being rewarded. We're being rewarded by all the time we spent in that Bloodline story, all the time we spent in that Judgment Day story in 2023. It feels like we're being rewarded. We're getting to see all this history culminate in a moment where these guys are now at odds with each other, with respect for each other. But the only way to get through this is to take the others out. And that can test your friendships. It can test your alliances. But I got to say, I am surprised that Sammy lost. I thought, look, Randy already had his shot against Cena. That rivalry for the farewell tour is on the books. Let's get Sammy there. And then when Sammy lost, it's like, okay, well, this could set up a potential Cody versus Randy now. But I still feel like if we're going to get Cody v. Randy, that penultimate match we've all been waiting for, and it's been slowly burning and building, that we thought was going to happen last year with the explosion between Randy KO and Cody, we didn't. I still think if we're getting Randy v. Cody, Randy needs to be a heel. I think Randy needs to turn on Cody for that match to really feel as just raw as possible. There needs to be a personal stake there. That being said, I think Cody needs to win. And I'm going to say I think he needs to win for the pure fact that I don't want to see Cody versus John Cena. I think John Cena's attention needs to be taken by LA Knight or someone else. I want to see Cody versus Gunther. And after what happened on Monday, I want to see Cody versus Gunther because I want Seth to cash in the moment Cody wins and really, really set the place on fire. That's what I'm hoping happens. If not, I still think this needs to result in some kind of heel turn from Sami Zayn to really throw a plot twist in there. He either turns heel on Cody, but he needs to turn heel on Jay. At some point within the next 2 months, it's prime time right here, right now.
Oh, God. This match and the Queen of the Ring match were probably matches of the night, in my opinion. Both of these two. the RKO into the Blue Thunder Bomb. Randy missing the RKO multiple times. Sammy with their opponent's gonna run to the turnbuckle and try and hit them with a hula kick, but Sammy follows them into the hula kick. God, this match was amazing. Randy winning. Wait, Randy won, right? Okay. I'm excited. I do think that on Monday, Cody does not win. I think Jay beats him because then in my opinion, it would just ruin the whole SmackDown versus Raw thing. So I think Jay would win since he is the person representing the Raw brand. I would also just like to see Jay and Randy. I don't think we've seen Jay and Randy go one-on-one in a while. I think since him and since RK Bro was a thing, and the Usos were still together. I think I don't know, but I want to see Jay versus Randy. That's my thoughts. This match was amazing. Not even amazing. The best match of the night, in my opinion. I've already said that. Holy hell, this match was good.
I messaged this in the chat right after this match ended. Welcome to the battle of the rematches. Which one will Triple H put on top? Will it be Cody Rhodes representing WrestleMania? Will it be Randy Orton representing Payback or Backlash? Shut up, Toxic. You called me a dumbass, so shut up, Toxic. Or will it be representing the Raw after Money in the Bank? Main event, Jay Uso. All three of these men are getting rematches out of this. Whoever wins gets their rematch. And if I'm being completely honest, I get why you say that, Tox, but I'm still going Cody here. I'm still going Cody. I think Cody goes to the finale. I think Cody wins it. Loses once again to John Cena. Hopefully The Rock shows up this time, if need be. I'm hoping that we don't get the same situation as at WrestleMania, where Travis Scott randomly showed up and then The Rock didn't. So I'm hoping that if this match happens, it's the other way around, where Travis Scott keeps his ass away from the ring and The Rock shows up. I don't think that's going to happen, but I hope it does. But I still think, and Blood said this earlier, he said it first, and so did I earlier. LA Knight is taking that title off of John Cena. He has to. There has to be something that pushes Knight. And if it comes after another loss to John Cena from Cody, so be it. Let the rematches roll. Let's see how this goes. Which one will Triple H put on top?
All right, y'all, saving the best for last. One of my favorite parts about this whole entire SmackDown was the real tribal chief, Solo Sikoa. Got to talk about my boy Solo. He's going to get a shot at Jacob Fatu's United States Championship because last week he gave Jacob Fatu a chance, kind of like an ultimatum. Meet me next week in the ring. Say those 4 beautiful words, I love you, Solo, and come back to the family and everything. Yeah, I love you, Solo, right? Yeah. Don't, Mr. Blood, throw me off my game. and come back to the family, and everything's gonna be all good. Solo Sikoa cut a really good promo here. He was, you know, honest. He was sincere. You know, because he's a real, you know, family oriented guy. Solo is. He's just amazing. You know. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, this was a very emotional Solo Sikoa, and kind of like in the end, he started getting a little bit more like manipulative, a little bit, still trying to rub it in Jacob's face that, you know, he's the reason why he's there, and Solo's the reason why Jacob is able to feed his family, and again, just great storytelling between these two, and they know each other so well. They kind of played off each other here very well in this promo. Jacob Fatu fired back and was like, yo, you just been using me. You've been using me to get famous, to get power, to get titles. And if this title is what you want, then come get it. It was also funny to hear Jacob Fatu call Solo Sikoa a blood on live TV, like they were in the streets. So that was really funny. But yeah, we kind of talked about this a little bit, I believe on Monday or last week, where we said there's a lot of things that can happen here in this storyline with Solo and Jacob, because we saw Hikuleu make his debut at the main event at the dark match last week. Could he join this? Maybe. Tangaloa, Tamatanga, could they be added to this? Maybe. I forgot. I believe it was Toxic or Blood said, what about the Usos? Well, Jimmy Uso came out and he helped Jacob Fatu. Jimmy Uso and Jacob Fatu were fighting side by side here tonight, fellas. So we might see another Bloodline 3.0 maybe join here pretty soon. But it was really cool to see Jimmy and Jacob getting pushed a little bit more and more towards the babyface side as the weeks go by. And it's official. Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa, Night of Champions, United States title. I know we're gonna do predictions next week, fellas. I think Solo's gonna be the new US champion, but that's just me. Ryan, your thoughts on this?
I love you, Snug. Anyways, yeah, man, Solo's kind of found his footing. He was way over pushed as the tribal chief. He was way over pushed as the guy SummerSlamming main event last year. And he never really organically felt like that top heel of the SmackDown brand. Now that he's kind of found his footing in the mid card, upper mid card, they add a twink of comedian to him. He really figured out this character, and it is upper mid card. It is manipulative. It's a little jokesterish, and I'm kind of looking forward to this 3.0. What does he have up his sleeve? Why is he so confident going against Jacob Fatu sooner rather than later? And then we later find out that it's going to be at Night of Champions. So what does he have up his sleeve to give him this irrational confidence that he has? Because to his core, he knows that Jacob Fatu is all gas and no brakes, and he's in trouble. So, Snug, I butchered the Samoan culture. Please save me, buddy. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the match, and I'm glad it's coming up.
Hey, that was better than me.
Y'all out here destroying my culture. Look, as far as it's concerned, I actually agree with Snug. I think Solo Sikoa is the new U.S. champ after next Saturday. And I'll tell you why. I think that when it looks like Jacob's going to win, regardless of Jimmy's interference to help him against JC Mateo, still a stupid-ass name, I think Hikuleu comes up. I think we're going to get the classic bloodline. Who's in the hoodie? Who's that Pokemon? Da-na-na-na. It's Hikuleu. And it's going to be like, I swear to God, like, I don't want a Bloodline 3.0. I'm going to be real as fuck with y'all. The Bloodline story should have ended when they had their face off at War Games. It should be done. This is like season 20 of The Walking Dead. This shit should have ended 5 seasons ago. And even more than that. 2023 Solo Sikoa would eat 2025 Solo Sikoa for breakfast. I don't know what they did but to Solo, but I don't know who this Disney Channel ass Solo is now with these quips and one-liners and the Disney knees and the fucking jokes and the like. Who is this man with this imposter syndrome? Like, his promo against freaking his promo against oh my god, now I'm fucking up, Jacob Fatu it was super condescending, extremely manipulative, and the whole time I'm like, bro, you literally watched Roman do this to your older brothers for like 2 straight years, 2 to 2.5 straight years of the time you were in the bloodline. And you watched it not work on them in the long run. So why would you think you'd be better at it? And just like it ended for Roman and all his manipulation, you got super kicked in the face for your troubles. Not once, not twice, but 3 freaking times. You know, at some point you think you'd want to stop, you know, knowing what the taste of Jordans, you know, tastes like. You know, as far as it's concerned, like, I think this is going to be a fun match. I think it's going to be really great, mostly in part to Jacob Fatu and equal parts in the selling ability from Solo. But I got to say, I wish the crowd was a little bit more into this throughout the actual promo section and not just popping for Jacob's, you know, his mantra. But other than that, I got to say, I think Snug's hit the money on the head here. I genuinely think Solo walks out next week as a U.S. champ. But I'm saying my prediction is that I think it's because of Hikuleo popping in. And I think that's going to be his debut. But God save the fucking queen and all the fish. I don't know how much longer we can drag out this bloodline story because the reports already came out like 3 weeks ago. The original bloodline stable, the Usos, Roman and Sammy, has been completely ended. That's official. So let's move this shit on.
Holy shit, Blood. You had me cracking up. Anyways, yeah, I'm excited for this. And oh my god, it's about fucking time that we get them to in the ring together. Like, holy, people were speculating this at WrestleMania. They thought that LA was gonna drop the title to Jacob Fatu before Mania, and then we're gonna see Solo and Jacob at Mania. That's what I thought. A couple other people did, but once again, like the end of Monday, I felt the seeds for Survivor Series. I felt it. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I think the War Games is Seth, Bronson, Jeff Cobb, Solo versus Roman, Jay, Jimmy, Jacob Fatu, and Cody Rhodes. Anyways, I'm excited for Night of Champions. We're going to get the classic bloodline tradition. Who's hiding behind the black hoodie and the bandana? Or, as Blood said, who's that Pokemon? God damn it. I'm excited.
I unfortunately agree. As much as I don't want it to happen, Solo's probably got it. I'm going to make this joke for a 3rd time, but I'm going to expand on it. Who's that Pokemon? It's Pikachu! It's Jeff Cobb! Fuck! Like that's probably what we're going to end up getting, unfortunately, is yet another Samoan being involved in this. As much as we all wanted Hikuleo to get involved at some point, the more I thought about it, the more I didn't want it to happen. I knew Hikuleo had to get involved somehow, but I'm not sure about that. Now, the promo itself. I love the fact that he was over here like, hey, I think this title's the problem. You want this title? Fight me for it. Let's go. Like I'm glad he did that because it's going to bring up a banger of a match at Night of Champions. It really is. I am ready for it. It's going to be one banger of a match. Now, I'm also with you guys on the fact that Solo, man, again, as Blood said, you watched this entire thing happen, and you really thought that taking all the credit for Jacob, every single last bit of it, was going to work? No! That was not going to work. It didn't even work at Money in the Bank, where right after he overheard you saying that he's all gas, no brains, he cost you for that briefcase. There was no possible way that you were getting through this. Now, Jacob, dude, oh, that's gonna be heat right there. It truly is, and I am prepped for this match. I'm a little bit worried for Solo, actually. I think that Solo is going to go over, but Jacob has to have something up his sleeve.
God damn it, Mr. Blood. See what you started? Now this is going to turn into a fucking Pokemon podcast. No, yeah, that was a crazy ass SmackDown. Night of Champions is next week. It's a fucking exciting time right now. A lot of shit happening. So, yeah, stay tuned for more Snug Wrestling here. Next week is going to be crazy for us, too, because I got the Heel Ship podcast this Sunday. We're going to talk about John Cena. Next Monday, we got the Raw review. On Thursday, we got, on Wednesday, we probably got Night of Champions predictions, right?
You want me to plug?
Yeah.
All right, guys, this has been the Snug Wrestling Podcast, wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, every single Monday and Friday, live after the shows go off the air. You can join us right here, right there on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok live for our post-show reviews and reactions. Snug goes live every single week for those, and he also posts clips of all of his in-show reactions on all platforms. You can go ahead and follow us on the new Facebook channel where we're now streaming live to from here. Wednesday, we're going to be doing the Night of Champions review episode. You can come join us again wherever you get your podcast. Thursday, one-on-one, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central for me and Snug as we do a one-on-one talking about fantasy booking, Evolution, Women's Evolution pay-per-view, which is coming up. Our thoughts on what we think the matches are going to be. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Snug.
Yeah, and also thanks to Ryan, who was our special guest for tonight. Yeah, thanks to everyone that hung out with us, commented, shared, liked, and all that good shit. My name is Edgar. I'm the host, and we will see you guys really, really soon. Good night. Let's get the fuck up out of here.
Four letters.
One word.
One word.